First of all, I think it's great that we have a new weapon to play with in Modern Warfare even after the official end of the life cycle. The weapon is pretty well modeled, and I want to give props to the people that brought the Sykov to life in such a detailed way. Also, the inclusion of a handgun that can utilize an 80 round mag, 2 different stocks, dual wield and full auto capabilities is just really unique and fun to play with. At least after all the attachments have been unlocked, of course. Yeah, here comes my first issue with the gun. Without the auto barrel and 80 round drum mag, the sidearm is basically a waste of space compared to any other secondary in the game. Yeah, I'm throwing in the 1911 because I'm an American and 8 shots is all you need to kill a moving target. That's us, that's right, gotta love this American ride. No, but seriously, I don't think that until you've leveled the gun up 40 times, it's worth using. I think it's underwhelming and just kind of sad compared to the other guns on offer. Don't get me wrong, it's far from unusable, but it just doesn't have anything going for it. It sucks that running it in this sexy configuration on screen here just isn't practical at all. The weapon literally goes from why am I using this to why wouldn't I use this all the time? And in a game with such extensive weapon customization, I just don't think those should be the only 2 modes or options on offer. When burst fire and snake shot dominated not only the other attachment options on the Magnum and Ronetti, but just the close range meta and MW in general, people were rightly annoyed for good reason. The Sykov in full auto is no different. In fact, I would say it's even worse than the burst fire or snake shot because at least those make you time your trigger pulls, whereas 160 rounds of player melting full auto is even easier to manage in comparison. And much like the shotguns in Black Ops Cold War, the main issue is that you're not even giving anything up by using it. You aren't losing an attachment, perk, or grenades by running this thing. I mean, the Pick 10 systems in the past were flawed, but I do miss those trade-offs. And apparently this gun is ruining Warzone by having a roughly 200 milliseconds time to kill. Ouch, that really doesn't work in a game with armor and with 1 life and stuff like that. Either way, I wouldn't say it's ruining the traditional multiplayer, which is what I cover, just to, keep my irrelevance, but it does need a nerf. An increase to its recoil, plus a reduction in drum mag size down to 40 per drum mag, plus a reduction to longer range damage would be where I would start. Also, a slower draw time wouldn't hurt at all. The reason I would say that 40 rounds in the drum mag is more than enough is that with this gun's damage, if you noticed I didn't say reduce its damage, just its long range damage. So in close range where you would want to pull out a pistol, I think 40 rounds is more than enough to hose down an enemy or 2, maybe 3. And if you dual wield it, you still get to have 80 rounds of full auto pocket power. So I don't think that that's a terrible idea. I think giving people 160 rounds of close range pocket power is a bit overkill. Now, Raven says that it's going to be getting tweaked in an upcoming patch, but since the gun has been in the game technically for months, I wonder why they released the weapon in a broken state just to fix it right after. I don't know, maybe to cause some hype and sell the bundle that the gun has? I don't know. I know that when the pistol came out, Modern Warfare, not Warzone, but Modern Warfare had 24,000 viewers on Twitch compared to Cold War's 10,000, meaning if even half of the people that were streaming under the Modern Warfare title were actually streaming Warzone and the other half was playing multiplayer, that's still more viewers than Cold War, just probably due to this damn pistol. It definitely generated some hype around the game, and I think Infinity Ward and Activision and Raven are looking at that and going, if we put a really unique yet broken sidearm into Modern Warfare, we can double the Twitch viewership of the game. So I think we're going to see more content updates soon. But herein lies the real meat of this video. The context surrounding the weapon's release is the worst part of it in my opinion. Modern Warfare currently feels left out to dry with us only getting 1/3 of the new weapons that have already been in the game. There is an LMG and an SMG that I've played with. Okay, I have played with these in private matches and in survival because they're there. And out of the 3 maps that were added to the game a couple weeks ago, only 1 remains. And we're just waiting for the others to be finished and added back. And my little script here says sigh, so Also, the latest patches are breaking the game. I mean, making players reinstall data packs, ruining weapon perks and attachments, and hurting the performance on PC is enough to make me feel like I'm playing an afterthought. There was an issue on PC that went away for me where when you're looking for a match or when it's finding a match, the whole game would lock up so I couldn't customize my class or anything. It made it feel really shitty. And then I'd get massive frame rate drops upon respawning in most game modes and on most maps, and that's back. That left. It was there when I bought the game, then they patched it out, I feel like they smoothed that over, and then now it's back again. The state of the game is so poor right now, and as a reviewer, I'm not going to push out some bullshit party trick, the Sykov is amazing type video. Raven, Infinity Ward, and Activision need to fix the game and nerf this new sidearm that's going to be dominating stuff like Warzone and pretty much every close range engagement for a while. I'm not trying to be overly negative, I'm not trying to look for the negative. I'm saying the game is in a bad state because it is, and I'm saying it's being treated like an afterthought because it is. And whether or not that bothers you is really irrelevant here. The game is playable currently, and I know that it's not the current COD, and, you know, Activision's gonna support Cold War more than Modern Warfare, but in my opinion, that doesn't change the fact that this game is popular enough to not be treated like an afterthought. At least, at the very least, don't break it. If you don't want to fix it, you don't want to keep adding stuff to it and actually doing a proper content release for the game, you just want to avoid that like the plague, fine. I guess that's your prerogative, Activision, but don't break it. Don't let Raven and Infinity Ward break it, okay? I think what's happening is that Raven has been tasked with updating, patching, and releasing content into a game that they didn't develop. So they're going into somebody else's work and playing with ones and zeros until sleight of hand doesn't work, or the adverse barrel and the fin doesn't work, or frangible wounding rounds don't work, or is it the other ones? I don't remember. This context surrounding the pistol's release and Kill House's release just makes it feel more bitter than sweet. We're not really technically waiting for new content. I mean, maybe not everybody's played with them, but I'm waiting for content I've already played on. I've played on the new maps in Private Match, I've used the new weapons in Private Match, and now I'm just waiting for them to actually be polished and given to me, but apparently not polished because the Sykov released in this state. Ugh. Also, I know in this video I've said Sykov a couple times, probably not just Sykov. Sykov rolls off my tongue, Sykov doesn't. It feels like I have to rewrite my brain's chemistry to say Sykov, and that's the real problem with this weapon, is that I first read it as Skylov, and then I read it as Cyclov, and now I have to deal with the fact that it's Sykov or Sykov or some other bullshit. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out to my video. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.